What's up, everyone? It's me, Sanitary 103. Thanks for watching. So, in today's video, I want to go over 5 common mistakes that people often make when they begin exercising. The first common mistake that I'm going to go over has to do with hydration levels. Being underhydrated can be a problem, aka being dehydrated, and there is such a thing as being overhydrated. That sounds crazy, but it's true. I'm going to get into that in a second. So, your hydration levels or your hydration requirements are going to differ from person to person based on your weight, your height, the type of activity, and the weather outside. So, as far as weight and height, someone such as myself, who's 5'5.5" and 135 pounds, my hydration requirements are going to differ from a football player who's 6'2" and 240 pounds. Also, the weather, if it's hotter outside, you obviously want to drink a little bit more water compared to if the weather is a little bit cooler. And the type of activity level, or the type of exercise, excuse me, such as cardiovascular exercise, typically you will probably burn a little bit more calories, or I should say, you will lose a little bit more water, predominantly with things such as running extremely hard, elliptical bike compared to traditional weightlifting. So, after talking about all this about hydration, how much should you drink? I don't have the set rule due to what I mentioned, due to these differing reasons and factors. But I will say that just don't be stupid about it. If you're running and it's really hot outside, then you want to take a couple of sips of water every 15-20 minutes, because if you don't, there's a good chance that you could start cramping, and that's a sign of being dehydrated. On the contrary, you can overhydrate. If you overhydrate while you're running, there's a chance you could get abdominal cramping. So, cramping, not in the sense where it locks up from being dehydrated, but abdominal cramping, where it feels like, your rib cage, and it feels like there's a knife and it's like jabbing you. That can happen, and I'm prone to this if you drink too much water. And this could be detrimental, especially if, let's say, you're running a 5K, 10K, half marathon or full marathon. It can just all that hard work you put into that race can go down the tubes. So, like I said, just be smart about it. 15-20 minutes, you can take a couple of sips. But if you're in at the gym running on the treadmill and it's well ventilated and it's air conditioned, and you don't feel any cotton mouth, you don't feel dizzy, then you shouldn't be guzzling all that water. It's just not necessary. Like I said, you could get some abdominal cramping. So, hydration levels are key. The second common mistake that people often make when they begin exercising pertains to doing too much volume, too much, too hard, and too soon. Although it's commendable to want to get right at it and just go all out, and a lot of men are probably prone to this due to our testosterone levels and due to some guys having egos, doing too much too soon, too hard, too fast, too whatever, can increase your chances of injury. Take, for example, if you haven't ran in years and all of a sudden you go running 7 miles, well, you may burn all those calories, but if your body's not accustomed to the increased amount of mileage and volume on your legs, you can suffer major leg injuries. And I've done it. This guy right here, it's happened to me before. I've made that mistake. So, be smart about it. Work out hard, but it's not a complete sprint. So, let's move on to common mistake number 3, and that is the direct antithesis to common mistake number 2, and that is not doing enough when you begin your exercising. Let's say you get a personal trainer, you feel excited, you like the concept of working out, you got your snazzy new gym outfit, but when it comes to the actual working out portion, it's just not happening. You're too into socializing with your personal trainer, you're not sweating enough, you're smiling too much during the workout. Now, don't get me wrong, you want to have fun when you're working out, but you should be grimacing a little bit. You should be breaking a sweat a little bit, and you should look I wouldn't say like crap completely, but after you're done with your workout, you should look like you've worked out. There are exceptions. If you're doing like a taper or something, but in general, for people that are beginning exercise routine, you want to look like you've worked out. So if you take a before and after picture and it looks exactly the same, and you show a stranger and they can't tell the difference, that means you're wasting your time. Now, yes, you are burning a little bit more calories than sitting on the couch. A person might say, hey, at least I'm at the gym, I'm doing something compared to sitting on the couch, going on the internet, wasting time playing video games. That is true, but don't you want to maximize your time? Don't you want to do the best you can? So you want to find you want to find that balance between common mistake number 2, doing too much too soon, and common mistake number 3, not doing enough. Find that equilibrium, find that balance point, and you'll be good to go. Moving on to common mistake number 4, and that is not warming up properly. This is the type of warm up is going to depend on the type of exercise, whether you're doing cardiovascular exercise or your weight training. Speaking of weight training, I did a warm up weight training video years ago. I'll put that at the end of this video if you want to check it out. But typically, when the weather is colder, there's a good chance your joints and your muscles are a little bit more stiff, and you could be prone to suffering some injuries, and also some leg injuries if you're running. I'm not a running expert by any means. I don't claim to be, but you could potentially pull a hamstring. You could cramp up. A lot of different things. So with the running aspect, just go on Google. There's plenty of information at your disposal, so there's no excuses there. So make sure you warm up properly. And last but not least, the 5th common mistake that people often make when they begin an exercise routine is they fall for, I would call a fad exercise, kind of like a fad diet. And a fad to me is something that's too good to be true. I remember back in the day, a lot of the infomercials, it was I think it was the 5-minute abs or 6-minute abs where it guaranteed you getting this nice sculpted abs, and they would show this guy who's completely ripped and say, oh, if you do this exercise routine for 4 minutes, you'll get abs. What they fail to mention is that abs are made in the kitchen, like Arnold Schwarzenegger said, meaning it's mostly dictated by your diet. But they don't tell you that because they want your money. Other things such as the Thigh Master. There's that other one where it's like an abdominal belt, and I've never tried it, but it wraps around your entire stomach and then it kind of contracts. Now, I'm not saying this doesn't work because I haven't tried it, and I've heard some people say that you can actually feel it contracting, but once again, without the proper diet, it's kind of useless. So don't fall for those fad exercise routines. Use some common sense. If it's too good to be true, it probably is. Thanks for watching this video. Those are my 5 common mistakes that people often make. If you're making these mistakes, don't feel bad. That's what this video is for, to educate, and hopefully by following these or not following these mistakes, you will have a smoother transition to your exercise routine and for healthy living in general. Thanks for watching. Comments, questions always welcome. Subscribe for more content, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.